The moment the CEO said my name, I knew. Emily, you're terminated. Effective immediately. The words sliced through the sterile conference room like glass underfoot. 100 eyes turned toward me, their expressions, pity, curiosity, satisfaction, burning into my skin. I could hear the hum of the projector still running, the faint whir of the air conditioning, and beneath it all the pounding of my pulse. No one spoke. No one moved. Not even him. Ryan. My boyfriend. My manager. The man who swore he loved me in whispers stolen between deadlines and coffee breaks. He stood by the CEO's side, hands folded neatly behind his back, jaw set as though none of this concerned him. I stared at him, waiting for the smallest flicker of remorse, something human. But he just gave a curt nod when the CEO said, "She breached confidentiality by leaking sensitive data." I opened my mouth to protest, but my throat locked. I hadn't leaked anything. I'd found something that wasn't supposed to exist, something I wasn't supposed to see. 3 weeks earlier, I'd noticed the invoices, duplicate payments, vendor names that didn't exist in any database. First, I thought it was an error. But when I confronted Ryan about it, his smile had been too calm. "I'll take care of it," he'd said, brushing his hand along my arm. "Don't worry about things that aren't your concern." His voice was sweet, reassuring, but it was the kind of sweetness that coats poison. That night I'd gone home uneasy. Ryan had been distant lately, texting late at night, taking calls in the other room. When I asked, he said it was company stuff. But I'd worked there long enough to know. His lies were never about work. Now, standing in that room watching security guards approach, it all made sense. He'd used me. I was the perfect scapegoat. Junior enough to silence, close enough to manipulate. I felt my chest constrict, anger burning through the humiliation. "You can't do this," I said, my voice trembling but loud enough for everyone to hear. "I didn't leak anything. Ryan, tell them the truth." He didn't even flinch. "Emily," he said, voice low, smooth, detached, "please don't make this harder than it has to be." That's when I knew he'd planned it. Every step. They escorted me out through the open floor. The sound of clicking keyboards pausing as whispers followed in my wake. My palms were clammy, my heart numb. As I passed my desk, my phone buzzed with a new message. "Ryan, I'll call you later. Please understand this wasn't personal." My stomach twisted. Not personal. He destroyed my career, humiliated me in front of the company I helped build. And it wasn't personal? It was entirely personal. For 2 days, I sat in my apartment replaying every conversation we'd had. Every late-night strategy session. Every kiss that tasted like a promise. The betrayal was layered. Not just professional but intimate. I'd let him see my weaknesses, my ambitions, my trust. And he'd turned all of it into ammunition. But what he didn't know was that I'd kept everything. Every spreadsheet, every email, every non-existent vendor name. I hadn't meant to keep them as leverage. I'd kept them because I wanted to believe him. Now they were my weapon. The next Monday I walked back into the building, uninvited. The lobby security recognized me but hesitated when I smiled, calm and deliberate. "Forgot to return my badge," I said. I didn't go to HR. I went straight to the server room. I still knew the access code, Ryan hadn't changed it yet. Inside, the air was cold, humming with power. My laptop synced automatically to the company's network. I uploaded a file titled "For Bored Eyes," only .zip to every department drive. Inside were the invoices, wire transfers, and Ryan's digital signature authorizing illegal vendor kickbacks. Millions funneled into a shell account. When I hit send, my hand trembled. It wasn't revenge anymore. It was justice. But it didn't end there. 5 minutes later, as I stepped into the elevator, the alarms blared. Red lights flashed. Employees poured out of their cubicles, confusion on their faces. I turned back and saw security rushing toward Ryan's office. The system had auto-flagged his account. Emergency protocol. Every transaction I'd exposed was now visible to the board, to the auditors, to everyone. The elevator doors closed with a soft chime, muffling the chaos behind me. I caught my reflection in the mirrored wall, pale, shaking but smiling. For the first time in months I felt free. 2 days later, the headlines broke. CFO and senior manager under investigation for fraud. Ryan's mugshot was everywhere. His calm mask was gone. Eyes hollow, jaw slack. The same expression I'd worn when he betrayed me. I thought I'd feel vindicated. But when I read the article, I just felt tired. He'd texted again from an unknown number. Ryan, you ruined me. I loved you. I stared at the message for a long time before deleting it. He hadn't loved me. He'd loved control. That evening, I returned to the same conference room where it all began. The company had called me back to discuss cooperation. They wanted to clean their image, offer me a settlement. The CEO looked pale, shaken. We owe you an apology, he said. I nodded, eyes steady. You don't owe me an apology. You owe me my name back. As I left, I caught my reflection in the glass doors again. The hum of the building, the scent of burnt coffee, the faint echo of distant sirens, it all felt different now. I wasn't the same woman who'd been fired in front of everyone. That woman had been silenced, small, afraid to question the people she trusted. This woman knew the truth. Sometimes the alarms don't sound when you're in danger. Sometimes they sound when you finally escaped it.